This lesson looks at how to measure the spread of a set of data. We've seen how measures of location, such as the mean, median and mode, give us information about the centre of a data set. Measures of spread indicate how spread out a set of data is. The most reliable measure of spread is the standard deviation, since its value depends on all of the scores in a data set. We'll be looking at the range, which we calculate by subtracting the lowest score from the highest score, the interquartile range, or IQR, which is found by subtracting the lower quartile from the upper quartile, and the standard deviation, represented by sigma n, which we find using the calculator's statistics mode. To calculate the range, we first need to identify the maximum and the minimum scores. We then subtract the lowest score from the highest score to give us a range of 4. The interquartile range is found by dividing the data into exactly 4 equal sections. So basically we're dividing the data into quarters. One way we can do this is to list the data in order. We then find the median by locating the centre of the data. Once we've found the median, we cut the data into 2 halves and we find the centre of the lower half and then the centre of the upper half. So we can see here that our upper quartile is 20 and our lower quartile is 17. Our IQR is found by subtracting 17 from 20 to give us 3. To find the range from this stem and leaf plot, we first identify that the highest score is 36 and the lowest score is 5. So we subtract 5 from 36 to give us a range of 31. To find the interquartile range, we first find the median and then use this to divide our data into an upper and a lower half, and we find the halfway point of these. In this case, it turns out that we have 2 scores around both our lower and our upper quartile, so we find the average of 13 and 26 and 29, giving us a lower quartile of 13 and an upper quartile of 27.5. The IQR is then calculated by subtracting 13 from 27.5 to give us 14.5. This cumulative frequency histogram shows us the quiz results of some Year 12 students. We have to answer how many students completed the quiz, what is the range, and we also need to find the IQR. So looking at our histogram, we can see that that last column reaches as high as 20. This tells us that 20 students completed the quiz, since this column shows us the sum of all the frequencies. To find the range, we identify that the highest score is 5 and the lowest score is 0. We then subtract 0 from 5 to give us a range of 5. The IQR is given by Q3 minus Q1. To find the quartiles from this graph, remember that we have 20 scores in total. So 1/4 of 20, or 20 divided by 4, is 5. Now that means that we're going to have 5 bits of data in each of our quartiles. So our lower quartile is at the 5th score, it's 2, and our upper quartile is at the 15th score. So Q3 is 4. We then subtract 2 from 4 to give us an IQR of 2. Our last 2 examples are going to be done in a slightly different way. So you have the worksheets and a copy of both of these examples, and also a set of calculator instructions for the Sharp and the Casio calculator. You need to go through these examples and ensure that you can get the answers that are given here. If you have any trouble, please make sure you see me. It is really important that you know how to use your own calculator in statistics mode. Okay, have fun.